had something they wanted to bring to y'all. So y'all go ahead.
Hey y'all, I think I know most of y'all. If not, I'm Brittany Compton. I'm the president of our Springhill Fire Board. That is Springhill Fire District 11. And I know this is not a new topic. Can I see it? Or do I stand? I know this is not a new topic for y'all. This is the first time I'm here to discuss it and to just kind of talk with y'all about it. We have the fire department building on Main Street. And we are technically under a lease with the city for it. There has been a lot of the way the lease was supposed to go, and it did not go that way on either side. And I honestly don't care that it did not go either way, the way it was supposed to. It's worked fine. The only thing that we have an issue with now is the roof. The roof is in complete and total disarray. The city used to use I call it the carport section because it looks like a drive-through where you just drive. It's as big as a garage. You drive in. And then of course the fire station has always had the fire station. And this has been approved to be fixed twice in y'all's minutes by different people, but it was never done. And there's been quotes to be done, and we appreciate the generosity of y'all wanting to give us the building. But once we've looked at everything and we've tried to accept the building, we can't. We can't accept it without carrying insurance on it. And the roof is in such a state that no one will insure it until we get the roof fixed. So we're just kind of in a limbo where, do we keep doing where are we going? What are we doing and how are we gonna do it? Because we want it and y'all don't, but we can't take possession of it until there's a roof put on it. And that way we can insure it. And so I know that there's been discussions. I think Mr. Wayne was brought in to the discussions to try to see was there something the state might can do to help, and things like that. I just wanted to make sure that y'all had any and all information that y'all needed. We do have pictures of the roof. We have quotes. Now they are from about this time last year, so they may have changed due to inflation or whatever. But we do have quotes from guys to fix the roof. We're wanting to try to get it resolved. I know y'all are sick of hearing about it.
Well, my question is, if prior councils voted that, why hasn't it been finished?
I have no idea, sir.
We just about to fix the roof.
I thought she said two different.
In minutes that are dated April 13th, the council authorized Mayor Carol Grove.
2015.
Yeah, I'm sorry, of 15. To accept the lowest bidder for a new roof. And then in August of 17, the council approved to replace the roof of all city buildings. And the fire department is a city building.
They did partial roof on the fire
Right over the
department.
fire station they did.
I believe that was right, I believe it's right, and as far as roofing estimates, it was done, we had a hailstorm, big hailstorm, and they did all the roofs, but they would not replace the whole roof at the fire department, they only replaced part of it, I believe.
Yes, ma'am. The white part that you see here is what I was referring to as the little drive-through bay area.
Park their truck.
And Right, I believe it was.
I don't even know what part that is, like, is it?
If you're looking at the fire station, this is the fire station, and this is the side of the fire station. You can only see the actual door to get into it if you go around the back of the fire station. And if you're looking at the back of the fire station, then it's to the right, directly.
So what is that used for? I mean, y'all have the big bay where the trucks go,
Right, well, before it's been used by the city.
but what are you gonna use?
Right now, we have Rescue 2 and our dive trailer in it.
Okay.
But the white part is that part, and that's the part that's been fixed.
When it was still used by the city.
The gravel section is the rest of the fire, and I can pass these around if y'all would like, or we have copies.
We've seen,
Um,
and we know the roof's messed up, we know all. And the other council looked at it, and they looked at all these pictures, and they decided, not to do that. They wanted to donate it as is. And so that's how we left it. But now y'all are wanting to see if the new council would change that. And because there was an impasse, Wayne McMahon, which, Michael Morris said Wayne McMahon may not get the money. Well, he's a state representative. I think I'd give him a chance. If he says he can, I think I'd believe him till he can't, you know.
absolutely.
But he's gonna meet with me Tuesday after the session ends today in Baton Rouge. He's got a meeting with me Tuesday, to let me know how all this came out. And he thinks he's gonna get $50,000 to replace the whole roof. But if y'all don't want it, I mean, we can shut him down.
We didn't fix the roof because we give the fire department the bill.
Yeah.
But the fire department never accept, like, it's still under y'all. It's still insured by y'all, and it's still a city building. It was never, like,
Why didn't y'all accept?
because we can't insure it.
And they can't get any grants or anything because their audit's like 2 years behind. They can't catch their audits up to date. So
We're working on it,
But
but
they-
unfortunately it takes,
they're not in the shape where they can. Of course, we're not in the shape money-wise where we can't either.
Let's see what, Wayne McMahon.
absolutely. I mean, we're perfectly fine with waiting and seeing what Mr. Wayne says. We just don't want to wait to see what Mr. Wayne says and then wait
This is
till
3.5 days of rain in May through my ceiling fan. That I can now no longer use the lights and the ceiling fan in my office because it's fried. But that comes through my ceiling fan.
And I don't want y'all to think that we're just asking y'all to spend money. There's also mold on the inside due to the stuff, and we have a quote for that for $41,000 that we are trying to find the money for and figure out how we can get that repaired and fixed. But we can't do anything with the inside until the outside is done, because it'll just mess up the new inside.
Well, I think we need to see what Wayne's gonna come up with Tuesday. If he doesn't solve your problem, then I will take it back to the council, the new council, which is what y'all want to hear from, and we'll see what the new council has to say.
That sounds wonderful,
Okay.
and we greatly appreciate it. And if anybody ever has any questions about it or anything,
Okay.
please feel free to reach out to me, and I will, if I don't have the information, I can get it for you.
Thank you, Bruce.
Thank y'all.
Appreciate it.
Y'all have a great rest of your meeting. And
Thank you. Okay, the first thing on the agenda is discuss the adoption of the budget. Amend the budget and adopt the budget on Monday night. Now, along with that, as far as an update on the budget, Shelley's gonna update you on the reason that you're being sent another amended, budget. I think you got a hard copy?
Yes, y'all got a hard copy in front of you, and I also emailed it to you this afternoon, but I wanted you to have a hard copy.
And I think she explained a little bit on what went on, but go ahead and tell them again.
This is gonna be now the final revision to this year's budget that will be presented at Monday night's meeting. The reason we had to revise it again today was after I ran the bills today and looked at the bank balance, I had $103,000 left in my general fund after today's bills. And right now, sitting in this green folder, the bills for the month of May that are being paid at this council meeting comes to the total of $269,722.80. Of course, that's gonna be broke down, let's see, it's gonna be $114,604.67 comes out of the general fund. $2,862.80 is gonna have to come out of civic, and then the O and M is $152,255.33. That's what makes up the whole balance of the monthly bills. It is a large amount of bills, but the insurance payment is included in this, which is $102,008. And that is just the property liability side. I have not received the, premium yet for this building,
Fire.
for the property itself, which will probably run us around another $40,000-$50,000 on that, I imagine, once it comes in.
And they're constantly paying for these blowouts. We're
Yeah.
sending these,
There's some big bills in
construction
here
people.
because of the 7th
Leave
and 8th
money.
Street, the sewer rehab or the collapse over there that we had to take on. So some of those are also included in these monthly bills. But I sent you an email out and I tried to explain it to you the best I can, and I think some of you said you hadn't seen it yet. But, there's a large number of bills that's been presented for payment, and the general fund is so low that I've had to consider the estimate of what we think we're gonna have to get us through from between now and the end of June, and we have 3 more weeks of payrolls to run also. So I'm afraid that it's not gonna have enough money to pay all the bills and the payroll. So after consulting with the mayor and Christine, I have been instructed, to move more money from the sales tax fund to the general fund. So we are doing the following amendments, and it's only going to affect your amended budget for the year. And it's gonna amend the general fund transfer in from the sales tax. We have to increase that by another $200,000, which will be under account 7011 on the big sheet there, which is page 2 of the detail. And so it was $950,000, what was the original budget, that brings it to $1,150,000. I have to amend the sales tax transfer out to the general fund and increase it by $200,000, which also now raises it up to 1.15. And then we also caught a correction we needed to make to the utility fund for the additional $300,000 I had to move out of sales tax to help operate the O and M fund, because this year I have moved, after I moved this last $600,000 out of our sales tax just to get our, operating and maintenance fund for the water
How
sewer.
much is left in the sales tax?
Right now today, it's like 760-something thousand, I believe, after I did this last transfer.
She also has another sales tax fund she's never touched. What's in it?
1.8 million is sitting in it right now, but that's, it's
We
not
have
just for that.
at Lamp, we have how much?
Well, I've got 6 accounts at
Let's say.
Lance, so, I've got a big one down there.
4 million.
Yeah,
I mean, but it's drained.
Taxes are for, aren't they?
but these are, you have to remember too, now, these are reserves that, we have put up through the years. And I'm having to dip into them more and more, it looks like, because our operating costs keep going up, they're not coming down. Of course, we've been hit hard this year with fuel costs and the utility bills. And then, like the mayor said, we've had a lot of major blowouts and things.
You're gonna have more,
But,
it ain't gonna stop,
yeah,
because your sewer system's 100 years old.
but we also amended the sales tax revenue budgeted to increase the projected revenues by the 200,000.
There's $6 million we're trying to get through Wayne to do phase 3. People griping about the brown water, but, that's one reason we're having that. That's why we've gone to weekly flushing of all the lines, right?
Daily flushing the lines.
Daily flushing of the lines, but, which is wasting water, But, you're doing damn if you're done around here, so, but that's what we think we're trying to do, to avoid that.
Okay, well anyways, we're also gonna amend the sales tax revenue budgeted to increase the projected revenues 300,000. It was added to the actual, but it wasn't amended in the budget, so that's why we had to correct that one. And then amend the sales tax budget by 11,000 to a total of 49,000, so that we're within that 5%. You know, we have to be within 5% over or under, that's budget law. And as a result of these final budget changes, the sales tax fund will now report a budgeted deficit of $284,598.75 for the year end 2023.
Okay.
We all look at it, thank God we got it, so we can pay bills.
We did,
And I know, that sounds, but
well, I
you
mean,
go through this in your own home, I mean, so.
but well, and we, you know, once we do address this, water, you know, get it right, I think we'll, you know, it'll
Be
help.
back on our feet a little bit.
That's one reason we neglected doing what we're supposed to do, really.
Are we, I was reading in our minutes in the press, somebody opened the liquor store or Pace just did those licenses? That liquor spirits?
No, they.
Is that somebody else?
He just did the license in his name. I don't know if he's-
But it's somebody, it's a foreign name there. You know, it's not, you know, like a John, Jack, Judy. It's a different name, but doing business as Pace, whatever.
I haven't seen that, I didn't know
We approved
approved
it.
the
Yeah,
license.
it's in the paper.
And we
That's
couldn't
why I was
figure out
wondering.
why, because the store was for sale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering, cause I'm thinking more, you know, sales tax.
He's gonna need a business license also.
Yeah, but it's in the paper.
I hadn't seen it, so.
Yeah, it's in there.
But I mean, all we did was approve the liquor license.
It make you think somebody can really open up a business. That's what it appears to look like.
It may be.
Maybe. Yeah,
And I have a
this-
question about the bills, before we go on. Why are we paying Ragamuffins $5,000?
Uniforms at the rec complex.
$5,000? What we,
You get that money back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kids pay for
The
it.
kids pay for
oh, I was just,
This
okay.
all comes through the
them. You're
city.
paying them, but they pay you
They
back.
turn the money
Okay.
into the city and then we pay the bills.
That just stood out to me. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, what y'all doing? You got a lot of shirts and stuff.
Well, I got grandkids out there. Everybody pays
I
their
understand.
coach,
Mhm.
they in turn pay her.
Because Dennis and them sponsored the team, they on the front page of the paper. They winners, the minimal progress.
Good deal.
They sponsored the team, so I understand.
But that will come up, Monday. Did y'all have any more discussion about that for Shelley?
We will have the money too, it's just some of y'all are new, you don't know the process.
Yeah,
We'll conduct a public hearing first on the budget, and then once that's concluded, then we go into the meeting.
and the public hearing is when is it?
It starts at 5 o'clock.
It's at 5, okay.
But it'll
Just
be
gonna run
first
over
part
a
of
little
it.
bit later.
It'll be all on the same agenda, but I have to do it that way.
Okay.
Mary, before we go any further, and I know in the discussions on the budget the last two times we met, and Derek said something about this the other day, is there any possible way we can make a lot of this easier on ourselves? If we look at least once a quarter, into that.
We've already decided to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, therefore, when May gets here, we know what we're looking at. And
I do email y'all the balance sheet, you know, at the end of each month.
I think we need to sit down and mark it.
And we're gonna do that.
My mind, he's over there. But,
We're gonna do that.
Sit down, and that way we can hold them accountable for what goes out, and that's very important.
But now, I do wanna mention to y'all now, Shelley does a fantastic job of with a microscope of checking every
Well, and,
bill.
yeah, I
And
realize
she
that.
comes running to him and say, what's this for?
But
Yeah.
it's that getting them in the loop.
I understand, and we're gonna do that too, but I want you to know, we are watching.
Yeah, we just, I know she is, like a hawk. She's
Yeah.
not all there.
Yep,
And, I know she told me she's going to get your car to buy the camera, she said, buy anything else you need.
that's right, that's
And,
right.
so, but that way you're held accountable, but they also understand that it's not their money, it's not just Springhill's money is a tax.
I understand, I think it's a good idea.
But we'll need to introduce or adopt the special ordinance. I have to do them in two separate ordinances, because we're amending the current year's budget. That's what they call a special ordinance. So we'll adopt that one, and then the other one is to adopt the new year, July 23 to June of 24.
Okay. And the next item is, selection of Springhill Press as the official journal of the city of Springhill. We have to do that every year. The next, discuss the condemnation of property located at 215 7th Street Southwest, belonging to Addie Lee Brown Cooper, in care of Jesse Cooper. They're supposed to be here on that. We had, 3 more, but, one of the properties had just recently been bought, and, Dennis was aware of the person that bought it. We're gonna give him some time to get it straightened out, but it had just recently sold, so we took it off. And then we had 2 that, belong to Russ Green, that he couldn't be here because he's had a real bad stroke, so we knew he couldn't make it. Yeah, pulled him off, because he he can't respond, so, but we will put him back on there. Next item, discuss allowing Virgil Moore, property owner of 229 North Main, to install a fire escape with access to city property per the request of the state fire marshal. This is the 2-story building next to the driver's license place. The fire marshal says he has a 2nd story, and he's got to put a fire escape in. Amy, you might
I
want
can
to
tell,
say
yeah.
something about that.
Virgil wants to put a business on his 2nd story there, the one with the black balcony. And he can't, without the fire marshal's approval. Fire marshal wants him to put a fire escape. The only place he's allowed to put a fire escape is on city property, right behind the tax title and license building.
It'll sit on our
So,
property. We
he-
own the
yeah.
property that fire-
And he got permission from the last mayor to do it, and then it never came to fruition, so he asked if you guys would, again, give him permission to.
No, but I'll get Nelson involved. He'll need to draw pull something, I asked him about it, he said, yeah, that's fine, but we'll need to draw some stuff.
Yeah, he's trying to put I think, he told me, I don't know if I'm supposed to say, but a boutique hotel up there is what he'd like to put.
That's
Yeah.
tax money for the parish.
Exactly.
This next item, I hate to bring anything up to cost money, but discuss sidewalk repairs in front of Regina's Beauty Shop. Okay, they've already bought the material, they're fixing to come here next week or something, and do phase 2, which we've talked about. Well, in the meantime, they called us from Regina's down there, and went down there, and they told us that there's been 4 little ladies that have tripped on these trip hazards that we have because of the bricks all being tore up and everything. And we went down there, and sure enough, I could see where they would. But that particular business has so many little old ladies that are trying to get in and out of there, that it does, I don't know, it seems like to me, we do need to go down there, and I asked them if they could come and look at it to see if they could patch or do something to do away with that trip hazard for those little old ladies, so, they
How
said.
many more phases have we got? 2 more? 2 and 3.
This will be part of phase
There's
3.
You got 3 altogether, but you're fixing to do phase 2, so it's gonna need 2.
4, there's 4.
There's 4 total,
Well,
yeah.
how far is it gonna go down?
The 2nd phase is gonna go
Down to the old Regions Bank where
From
you,
B&S
to the next corner.
And it's bad too.
it's real bad.
I ride my bicycle on it.
It's bad.
Yeah, right there by all, that's the
Yeah,
first.
the vacuum
Each
place.
phase is
As far as
like,
it goes, it's right there.
each phase is like a city block,
It's in a
Mike.
phase.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just that historical district.
And so what this would be doing, this would be replacing that little section. And when phase 3 comes along, you will have already had that done.
But we got the other phases in the budget for next year, don't we?
No, we only did phase 2.
Phase 2.
No, I think we're going to get that fixed, because that's where the most traffic is from.
Yeah. And it's gonna be around, $10,000. Well, it goes from, it's tore bad. See, they park their cars.
What
all
about
along
starting, what about phase two starting there and coming back this way?
Phase two, because phase two is cheaper than phase three. Phase one and two was
Either way
cheaper,
we go, we're gonna have to pay for it sooner or later.
but it's phase three and four are longer
I think
distances.
small spots when we come back.
Stick to the plan.
Yeah.
Can we,
Okay.
I got to stick to the plan.
Okay.
I'll let you know, Chris.
Well, four of the ladies have fallen and hurt themselves pretty bad.
Oh, Lord.
We're out of time to pay a turn to business.
You saw it, didn't you? They put it on Facebook or something, I forget the lady's name.
Thank God she is.
Let's see. Next item, discuss the introduction of an ordinance, which Nelson's supposed to have finished, for a park use ordinance. This is, Nicole, you wanted that put on there,
Yes, I
and
do.
he's finishing that up, he'll have it here Monday. People congregating in these parks, and I think Will said we just don't really have the, what it takes to enforce the law there, you know, as far as congregating by so many people. You might add something to it.
Well, it was, for a couple of years, consistently during the summer months. People call me and ask me what's going on, I don't even know. And then I call Will, and he don't know. So, and there's be a lot of people, and there have been instances when the ambulance or the police can't get in because the streets are blocked, and it poses safety risk when you don't know from the out of town people per se. Because sometimes we be a lot of out of town people, and we have no knowledge, and we don't want to be a statistic like Minden was when they have that real nice complex down there on the suburbs of the city, and people were shot. And we're in a preventive mode. So if you don't have an ordinance to govern that, it's just ineffective. If somebody get hurt, a child or adults.
That would cover every part we have, which.
Yeah.
Yes.
The next item is the police chief has a guy he hired, Hunter Boyle he hired. That's all that I've got as far as the agenda goes. Unless y'all had
Did we figure out about the McMahon veteran that we were talking about? We didn't know the price, you know, it had went up so high. Did
They increased that
Yeah,
when,
they increased that about
Dr.
3 years
Scott
ago.
bought
Right.
that.
Yeah, when Scott bought it.
Because they had bought new cremation equipment and whatnot, so they said their
What about
cost
the Lama
increased.
people we have here? Could we have a cooperative endeavor, bring there or something, for them to pick up dead animals? They love animals, dead or alive. Dead or alive.
That's the part of the process, they take the animals to McMahon's and they dispose of the dead animals.
Oh, yeah, that's right, they don't have that type of stuff.
You gotta do it a certain way.
Yeah, crematory.
It's very questionable right now, it's just, they're bringing those pins up there, but it's very questionable, because that's in the neighborhood.
Yep.
And,
We don't have anything in the
Oh, my.
ordinance.
You talking about on Coral Street?
She's been
It's just
in
too
the
much.
office this
yeah, I looked
week.
at them, there's nothing in there.
The only thing I found on it was, it kind of comes under the livestock ordinance that talks about the cows and the ducks and everything else. And it says at the top of the ordinance, except dogs, but down in the bottom part of the paragraph, when it talks about the houses and the, you know, stables and stuff, it includes dogs in that. So the ordinance says you cannot have those within 150 feet of the property line of your neighbor.
There really isn't anything back there behind it, it's just.
Well, that's what they said, and I said, the only thing I can think is if nobody complains and causes a fuss, there won't be a problem.
It's in your district.
Oh, and you know what?
On that side of the street.
You wasn't here, but I told Ronnie Dees that there was a hog running through our neighborhood and it came from her. Remember that? Yeah, it came from her, yes! They had pigs and stuff.
She probably had a pot-bellied pig.
She's just got a zoo back
She
there.
loves animals, I know that, but this is not her, this is Emmett Logan that's putting these in where you're talking about
That's gonna be on
Talking about
8th.
that guy?
That's 8th
At
Street.
the
That's
corner.
You talking about the guy with all the bamboo poles?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yes, that's where they're putting these in.
that's on 8th Street. 8th and Church.
You know what you're talking about?
But they've been in looking at the ordinances I printed out, and
That's on the street, mine's on the other side. I got
So
mine over there.
What's going on with her? She got animals and she's bringing in more or what?
he's bringing in, I presume there are a couple now, I don't know,
Yeah.
but I know she has them at her house, but these are ones he's constructed on his property.
Now, what kind of animals?
Dogs, they're doing them dog kennels is what he told me, and I also asked too, I said, are you gonna be boarding animals, or are you just strictly rescuing, what are you doing? 'Cause I said, if you're gonna start boarding, I said, then this constitutes a business, and then I said, this is not zoned, I mean, he says I told him it was zoned commercial back a long time ago, but I don't believe I did, that's a residential neighborhood, unless you had the property spot zoned. And then I told him the process of having, you know, how you get someone's spot zoned, but I don't know if we have any more out of that, but I think he's gonna have like 10 kennels. And the ordinance doesn't say you can't have, you know, 10 dogs at your house or whatever, so.
Oh, gosh, there's right.
yeah, he did. We had a bear in Pine Hill yesterday, didn't we, Bob?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, that thing, I had my kids call me. I'm nervous. What's going on? I guess what all the calls
Oh, I thought somebody fell in the ditch and died.
He got loose, so he
Everybody was
got
down there
loose.
looking down the ditch.
There was a bear in the woods, and they chased him all the way to the mill, through the mill pond, and plunged in the highway last I seen him.
Headed back to Arkansas.
It will be a,
She called this Nick.
we'll be a, folks attracted to come to Springhill, look at
She
all
could
that.
adopt him.
Oh, yeah, we have a bear on call.
Well, that's good. Okay, that's all I have. Thank y'all.